Let me pray for us. Father, I pray you help us today as we learn more Greek. I pray that you encourage us. Give us a better strategy to how to do well. Help us identify places we're confused. And I pray you help me as a teacher. And I pray at the end of the day, you use this class as a means of grace in all of our lives to conform us to the image of Jesus. And we pray all these things in his name. Amen. So we don't have to do this part today. That's a review, I think. But we'll just take a moment to go over that as well. So you want to make sure you get the Amy chart. And if you would say this with me, Amy, A, Eston, excuse me, Esta, Asen, Amy, A, Eston, Espen, Esta, Asen. So do you realize that this is like where we get ist from, like in Latin, and there are other languages. And I wonder if it's where we get is from in English. It is in Greek, but like in German, ist, like it's the same thing. And I can't pull the Latin one up, but it's very similar. It's S2 in Latin, EST. So you can see how all of these are similar. So the imperfect of Amy, ein, esta, ein, amen, eta, ason. I was, you singular were, he, she, or it was. We were, you were, they were. Relative pronoun. What's true of relative pronouns? They agree with the words they modify in gender and number, but the case is determined by its function within the relative clause. Has, hu, ho, han, hoi, hon, hois, hus, hey, heis, hey, hein, hi, hon, heis, has, ha, hu, ho, ha, hon, hois, ha. You want to get it where you can kind of do it like that. And the more times you go over it, the deeper it will go in your long-term memory. NRK, ein ha logos, kai ha logos ein pros ton theon, kai theos ein ha logos, hutos ein NRK pros ton theon, pantadi autu agenita, kai chorus autu agenita udechen, notice rough breathing, ha gegonen in auto zoe ein, kai he zoe ein taphos ton anthropon. Kai taphos in te skatia fine, kai he skatia alta u katalaben. Now when we come to this, peri. What's your mnemonic device for peri? Perimeter, that's mine. May. Maybe not. You know how you would emphatically say not in Greek? Ume, 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 ume. That's how you would say it. So maybe you can think of my ridiculous thing, and maybe that will help you. May. I'm not gonna forget that now. Yeah. Hostis. Notice that's just two words. It's the relative plus the indefinite, and they're just jammed together. So it's hostis, hatis, hoti, whoever. On is your hypothetical. Anybody have a mnemonic device for that? Which one? For on. That one was a hard one for me. I just had to memorize it. What's your mnemonic device for Sue?
It just kind of sounds like you. I think the little like circles just reminds me of that one there. Like it reminds me of.
Oh yeah, that little part. Almost, yeah. I think actually our word you comes from this word, and it's just over time. Has anybody ever told you that English is just kind of garbled German?
Yes.
It's kind of the dumbed down version of German, which is kind of embarrassing for our language, but it's true. I mean, you look at German and it's so elegant and so grammatical and so expressive, and then you look at our language and you say, I see elements of that, but all the kind of elegance of it is gone, and we just go with word order on everything. Maybe that will help keep us humble as a people. Anna? Anna sounds like up. Okay. I'm thinking about like my mnemonic devices don't actually work for this, but I think of the term anaphylactic shock, but that's actually using a different word, anagram. I can't get, but all those are related to this word, so I just, anabasis, that's my mnemonic device, the Xenophon's anabasis, where the march up to the sea. Hati? Anybody have a mnemonic device?
So this is not very great for the because of the that, but for the as possible. I think of playing the game Pronoun. Stay as hot as possible.
Okay, there you go. Okay. I had a Greek teacher who he wasn't a classicist, he was in the religion department. And he did not like traditional views on the Bible, but he told me that he thought Hati was actually where we get our quotation mark from. And I don't know, he's the only one I've ever heard say that, but he was a very educated person. Hati, kind of go with the that, because that's how it's used most. That. A is if. A pair is if indeed, or since, you could even do it. Allah, Saleh, Allah. Anybody have a mnemonic device for that? Chase, what's your mnemonic device?
I think it's in the sentences later.
Oh yeah. Other children. Yeah. And remember the difference. If it's accented on the end, Allah, it's but. But if it's accented in the front, it's other.
Throwing it out here. Does that have any relation to the God Allah?
I think Allah in Arabic is actually, yeah, I mean, Christians call God Allah in Arabic, but I think it's related to the Hebrew word Eloah. And just over time, it is, but Elohim is the plural of Eloah. Fami. My mnemonic device is meaningless, but it helps me remember that word. Famous people say a lot. Famey. My high school PE coach didn't have a sense of humor, but he told one joke, and it was the joke, it's the beer that made Melfamy walk us. I say it's the beer that made Melfamy walk us. That's my mnemonic device, and it's stupid. Your Brewers have this famous pitcher named Melfamy, and he loses the World Series because every night before he goes out drinking all night, and so finally somebody realizes it's the beer. It's the beer that made Melfamy walk, and it's supposed to be the beer that made Milwaukee famous. It's They call that a spoonerism or something. So, like, that doesn't even work. But like 35 years, I've been using that to get famey. And same for Fisher. I think you've come up with a good mnemonic device that works for you, and it will get it to your midterm. Hoopa plus the genitive is by, which is the agent of a passive verb. Well, let's go over that. If I say, I paint the wall, what's the subject of that sentence? I. What's the direct object? What's the verb? Do you see in that sentence, I paint the wall, that the action goes from me to the wall? Okay, so that's called an active verb. We're told in English to use active verbs. There's a trick called a passive verb where you could say, the wall was painted by me. What's the subject of that sentence? It's wall, but the action of the verb is passive because it's coming back on the subject. And so when you have a passive verb, you have an agent. If you want to spell it out, you could say the wall was painted, and then you don't know who did it. But if you said the wall was painted by me, the by me is the agent of a passive verb. So in English, we're told not to use the passive voice because it takes more words to say it in the passive than it would be in the active. Lots of other languages have passive verbs, and they use them all the time. So Greek has passive participles, passive infinitives, to be painted or not to be painted. That is the question, So other languages will use passive verbs, so it's only our English teachers who say don't write in the passive voice, because all other languages use the passive voice. So in Greek, the way you say the agent of a passive verb is hoopa plus the genitive. Hoopa plus the accusative is under. Who has a good mnemonic device for that? I got a winner for you. If your blood sugar is hyperglycemic, what does that mean? Too high. And it's hypoglycemic, what is it? It's down, right? So it comes from that word right there. So what about this poieo word? I make, and who's got a mnemonic device? So this is actually where we get the word poet from. Poets make stuff. Poetes is like someone who's made a clever poem. That passage in the New Testament where it says, we are God's workmanship, we are God's poema. It's actually the word poema. We are the thing that God has made. So I make, it's a contract verb, so you lengthen that poie. I may, will make, I made, I have made, I've been made, I was made. Un, post-positive word, it means therefore, so it will be one step deeper than you translate it. To translate it, you have to move it up one. And logos is word. Okay, so you want to test yourself? Tell me one of the 15 words that will be on the test today. Don't look. Yeah, but only use your memory. Perry. Perry the may, not. That's 2. We want 15. A means, okay, let's put some skin in the game. Okay. I will trade you a perfect test if you can get all 15 words without looking at it. So we got 3. And we'll play as a... Okay. And what does that mean?
That means other or another.
Okay, so that's 4. We need 11 more. Sorry, I heard one. Who? Okay, that's the English word, right? Sue. Oh, sorry. Too many Stevie Ray Vaughan, too loud. Sue. So that gives us 5. You. Oh, we almost got this. Sorry, Petra? Right. Hostis, hatis, hoti. Whoever. But we got it. This team play. So that's 6. Hoti means...
On is, it marks the verb's potential.
On. That gives us 6.
Okay. Ana is up on throughout.
What's your mnemonic device?
Anna in the movie Frozen went up and
Nice. So that's 7. Oh, we could get...
Famey, I say.
I say. Famous people say stuff. It was the beer that made Famey Walkers.
Poyeo, I make.
Poyao, I make.
What was that?
Anybody get the future of Poyao? Oh, nice. Poyeso, good. I will make. Okay, how many is that? We've got 7, maybe? We've got 8. Un. What is un? And what's special about un, Carter? What do you call that? Post-positive. It's a post-positive word. Okay, how many is that? 8? 9? Okay, so we need 6 more. Logos, absolutely.
What else do we got?
I got some at the
What?
near the bottom.
Fisher has one. Hupop was the genitive is by.
The other one is under. Accusative is under.
Hupop plus the accusative is under. Oh, man.
We're doing good, guys.
11, we need 4 more. Did we have Hati already?
Yeah, we got oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. If we don't get this. What do you mean? Look at that. We're not focused on Hebrew, bro. Learn Hebrew on your own time. You're good. It's fine.
Okay, we need to concentrate. See, we would all be on our phones, right?
Can I check out of that and check off which ones we have done so we make sure we have them?
Yes.
Okay, so go in order. We've got so think through them in order. We've got Perry. We've got next up is May. We have that one, and then it's Hosties, Hesties, and Hoti.
Oh, got the order right, I think.
Then next you've got on, which is the marks the verb's potential.
Hypothetical.
Anna, which is up.
Oh, good. Nice.
What?
Sue. Sue.
Is you? We've got that one. That's next. A. We got.
A is if. We got that one.
What comes after that one? Is it fake? No. Is it hoti that comes after that one?
It was before that one, but we got that.
Okay, so
But we got Hati.
and I.
We got Poya. We even got Poyeso. Extra credit.
We got one.
Logos. right?
You got
Un, post positive, therefore.
what else? What others were there?
We got Hoopa.
Oh, yeah. Hupa in the genitive, by. Hupa accusative, under.
What's the?
Sorry?
Did we do Apple?
Oh,
Apa, from. Yeah.
that's 12, guys. We need 3 more. Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure they're like near Apple.
And then we had one. It was 3 words that started with an.
Alos.
Yes, another.
Wait,
That's exactly right.
One more word. One more word.
Can you guys feel how good that feels in your brain? And we're working our brains very hard, and we just got this, what is it, an endorphin thing? That's going to tell your brain, every time I get one right, I'm going to reward you with this great feeling, right? Dopamine hit in Greek class. So you need one more, right? Oh, didn't we get, it was the beer that,
no. It's, I said fame, though.
Famies.
Okay. We're good.
So I want you to write your name on the top and say, we scored a perfect score.
The only one that I was like, really got down, and then he gives it 100 on that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brett. Would you like to say?
No, I'll take that.
All right, so let's just translate these sentences before we go on. Ego min eimi, we reviewed that. Ego min eimi, paidion Hellenikon. What does that say?
On the one hand, I live
Oiko de in agrois.
on the other hand, I live in fields.
In Talthagar in tois agrois, Georgos tis thrasalos estin.
For there in the fields, there is a certain farmer, Thrasalos,
Has George kai eke korion.
who farms and has a little estate.
Who farms and has a little estate. Ara erotas tis min ego tis de ha thrasalos.
So,
I'm so impressed. You may ask, right?
Who am I and who's
Thrasalos, lego day.
Surely I will tell you,
Tegnon gar emi ego tu thrasalu.
for I am the child of the Thrasalos.
Good. Kaimain Allah get.
And indeed, to be sure, he has other children.
Right, so that Rouse is a little tricky that these two go together. The Thrasalos, other children, has, also indeed to be sure. I mean, that's just a curveball. Kaigar egoimi technon altu.
For even I am the child of the Thrasalos. Or even I am the child.
His child, the child of him. Kai echo adelphon tekai adelphane.
And I have a sister.
Right? On a mazusin, that's going to be a third plural verb. On a mazusin de eme men thrasumakon.
I am named.
Okay. You guys tell me, what's the difference between these two sentences? I am named Thrasumakon, or they name me Thrasumakon. What's the difference in English?
the difference is the action. Because your parents named you for
Right. It's the difference between an active and a passive verb. They name me Thrasumakon. I am named Thrasumakon.
The word his name was John in the other.
Anima, that's right. So we have a term in English called onomatopoeia, where things sound like what they are. It's from,
This one is passive and the one in John is active.
the one in John is a noun, this one is active. This is they anima me, Thrasumikon. Does that make sense to you? Tonadelphon onomazousin throsustamon.
They named the brother Pronoun.
So you know how you can remember what this guy names mean? All these are bold words, so bold battle, bold mouth. So my mnemonic device for stoma is there was this preacher in the 400s called John Chrysostom. So Chrysostom was actually not his name.
Yeah, his
It was
name was Golden Man,
the golden mouth.
because he was like one of the greatest preachers of all time.
People would go before they went to work every day and hear him preach for an hour.
That's so. What a.
The golden mouth. And you know what he did to recharge?
Bro, huh?
He would have a servant read the book of Romans out loud to him once every week. He would just listen to Romans, the whole book. So an hour and 15 minutes he would listen to somebody
I would hate
read
to
it.
be that servant. Ugh.
Tainda adelphine Helenein onomazousin.
The sister.
Now, look what Rouse is doing. Onomazousin, onomazousin, onomazousi. You see he's repeating these. So, like, what you want to do is just reread these sentences, and every time you reread it, it's going to reinforce previous words. Esmin. Oh my goodness, that's from our chart. Amy A. Eston, Esmin, Esta Asen. We are
Therefore, we are the children of God.
Esmin Dekai Tes. Ha ha ha.
On the other hand, we are the children.
Good. Fisher. Yes.
I see that, things that they're, like dealt with the apostrophe looking thing.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily say that on the line, that sentence. So, what does that mean? Or the delta gave the apostrophe by itself?
So Greeks don't like saying short vowels and short vowels together. So this is called elision. And the way they mark elision is with a elision mark, which looks like a breathing mark, but it's inside a word. We actually do this same thing in English with words like don't. We're eliding vowels. So anytime you see that, it's the next. They didn't like saying emi, so they just said demi or demi. They're just dropping that short vowel out and then marking it with the elision mark. That's a fantastic question. Okay. You guys did great. So we get to go chapter 5a. So we're on 5a now. Okay. So don't freak out because we already know this chart. We're just, okay. So we're going to look at the preposition he, she, or it. Altos, alte, alta. We're going to look at the pronoun. We're going to look at the demonstrative pronoun, this man, this woman, this thing. And then we're going to look at the far demonstrative, that man, that woman. Hutos, haute, tuta. Ekanos, ekene, ekenos. So it looks like there's a lot of stuff here. We already know all of it. We're just kind of making sure. So, with the word altos, alte, alton, the first thing you want to try is he, she, or it. That will be the meaning, the go-to meaning the first time. There are two nuanced meanings as well. So if you put autos between the definite article and the noun, so you would think that would say the, he, man. Well, that doesn't make any sense, does it? That's how they say the same man. So if you put it between the definite article and the noun, it has to be between, then it means the same. If you put it on the outside, autos ha anthropos, it means the man himself. It's the emphasizing. So if it's outside the definite article noun, it's the emphasizing. If it's inside, it's the identical. If it's by itself, it's just he, she, or it. This word comes into English with things like autoimmune diseases, where the person's own immune system is fighting against them, right? Automatic we get from this. Autonomous we get from this. So there are three uses. This is the main one, he, she, or it. Then it's just unconnected with the noun clause. If it's inside the definite article noun, it's the same man. And if it's outside, it's the man himself. And look at all those crazy new endings we have to memorize. Os, u, o, on, e, oi, on, ois, us, ois, a, ace, a, ein, a, I, on, I, sa, sa, u, o, u, o, on, ois, a. Those are exactly the same endings as the definite article.
Hey, so if you like no definite article, yeah,
And remember how that strange person came in here and said, you've got to memorize these first. Okay, that's true, because if we do that, then we've got this already, right? And it works the other way. If we don't have that one down, if we memorize this one, it's going to give us that one. So this is he, she, or it. So on the midterm, I'm going to put altos, altos, and you write this out. And that's like 24 points, right? But it's the same exact endings as other charts. So, all right, what about the word this? Hutos, tutu, tuto, tuton, hutoi, tuton, tutois, tutus. So that's how you say this. This is how you say this woman. Haute, tautes, taute, tautain, hautai, two-tone, oh, that's unfair, tautais, tautas. Okay, let me give you a trick. If it has an A in the end, it has an A in the beginning. If it has an O in the end, it has an O in the beginning. That sounds like free points to me. And then it's just like the definite article. First one has a rough breathing T's for all the rest. First one has a rough breathing T's for all the rest. This one has a T. The definite article has a T, right? So if you have the definite article, and you can remember, if it has an A, it's going to have an A in the front. This one doesn't have an A in the end, so it doesn't have an A in the front. Then it's like free points, right? 24 more points.
So I have a question. So the genitive, that's the of case, right? So if I said, Hannah, forgive me, but if I said ha anoma tuton estin hana, is that just like the name of this woman is Hannah?
The name of this woman, but you want to make sure you say tautes, not tutu.
Oh, I referred to you in the plural. My bad. What?
Okay, so is this going to be hard to get?
No.
Okay. Okay, what about the word that? Oh my goodness, look at all those new endings. Os, u, o, on, oi, on, oisus, a, ace, a, ain, I, on, isos, exactly like the definite article, u, o, on, oisa. That's the definite article chart, right? With the word ekain in front of it. That's how you say that. Now I want you to think about something with me. If you know the definite article chart, then you get 24 points on the midterm, right? If I have all 4 of these charts and you don't know the definite article chart, you just missed 100 points, right? But if you know one chart, you know 4 charts, right? So how important is it to memorize the one chart? Very, 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 very important. So the moral of that story is, you know what you can do? You can play a game too, okay? Who can give me the feminine dative plural for the word this? Feminine dative plural for the word this. Tautais or tautais? Why is it tautais? Yeah, well, if it has an A in the end, it has an A in the beginning. Okay. Who can give me the neuter plural genitive for he, she, or it? Neuter plural genitive for he, she, it. That's for this, isn't it? Neuter plural Al2 is going to be your neuter nominative. Al-tune, that's right. Not Al-tune, Al-tone. Omicron nu, right? Who can give me the definite article feminine dative singular? Sorry? Te. Does it have an iota subscript or not an iota subscript? Dative, all the dative singulars have iota subscripts. Do you see what we did in going backwards? Can you feel how in your brain was working differently? So that's what you're doing there is cross-training. And so memorize the chart and then try to go the other way. Try to write sentences out, simple sentences out, without looking at the chart, and try to write them in the right. And what you'll find is your brain's going to have this realization. And the realization is your brain's going to say, this person's going to hurt me if I don't do what they, say. That's probably not the way to say, but your brain realizes, hey, the person is serious about memorizing, and it fixes itself. It becomes instantly your do it because it hurts not to remember, and your brain doesn't want to hurt, right? So once your brain realizes this person really is going to try to remember, and it hurts me not to remember, it's like it's going to give you that concentrating thing, and then it's going to be like that forever, where you can remember things because your brain knows this person isn't going to take the shortcut of looking it up on the phone. This person isn't going to take the shortcut of looking at the chart. And so when you do that cross-training, and I don't know, in my brain I can feel it. It's not great pain, but it hurts a little. And once I ever get to that place where I'm a little confused and I can feel just that little tingle, for me it's just right there, I'll get it the next time, because my brain doesn't like that. And so it will make, I don't know if it makes the connection or whatever, but that's how my brain works. And so your brain is your servant. You want your brain to understand you're very serious. You get that tingle, and then it will work. All right. More free points. Hade hede tade means the following in Greek. Tell me what this chart is and why it's so simple to memorize.
Oh, it's a definite article. Day. It's
Slammed up with de. It's a definite article in de. It's one word. On the other hand, so this is the on the other hand is one word.
So yeah. So and then it's yeah.
So if I give you the definite article chart and give you this chart,
You got it.
that's free points right there, right?
So if this were included, it would be just like that, but without day on it, and we would just write.
It would be completely empty.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it would be this and completely empty.
Can you do that with other words other than like be or like, I guess, conjunctions?
Hostis does it. There are other words, but this is the main word.
How is that used in a sentence? Like,
I hold the following to be true, and you would have tada. Tada is all that would appear, and it would mean the following things. Okay. So help me with this reading. NRK, what does that mean? Ain. That's from our chart, right? Ain, asta, ain, amen, eta, ason. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was toward the God, pros plus the accusative, and the God, the logos, was theos. This is going to be the predicate nominative. In Greek, it's first, but the subject is going to be the one that has the definite article. So the logos was God. Hutos. Oh, that's from today. Hutos haute tuta. Everybody translates it he, but that's not right. This man, right? Because it's hutos halte tuta. This man was panta. That's going to be your neuter accusative plural of pos posapon. What is pos posapon? Neuter plural. All things came about through him. And right? And without him, there came about Uda. Uda, 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 Uda. Uda hen. Not even neuter singular of the number one. Not even one atom. There isn't one atom in all the universe that Christ doesn't say over that atom, mine. Right? Because he created it. Apart from him, there came about not even one thing. Notice the difference. Smooth breathing, rough breathing. In hen. So hen is one thing. Hageganen, relative pronoun. What, and this is going to be the perfect of this verb. So a perfect is like present is I paint, future is I will paint, aorist is I painted, imperfect I was painting. Perfect is I painted and my house stayed beautiful for years. What came about in him was Yeah, it is life. Man, I want to translate that Zoe, though, because in the Greek Bible, it's not Adam and Eve, it's Adam and Zoe. And I think he's playing with that meaning there, because Zoe is in Adam before she's created.
Could this be talking
What came out in him was Zoe, or was life. The Zoe, so that's an anaphoric use of the definite article, was Zoe, and the Zoe that I'm talking about.
And the life was the light for
Two men, or
was the light unto men toward man?
what case is own?
Oh, is plural genitive.
So what do you add between?
To the
That would be dative, though, wouldn't it? What do you do with a genitive? What English word do you add when you have a genitive? Of. So the Zoe was the
light
of the men.
Okay. I was confused for a second.
And the light in the Scotia Fines
light and darkness shines.
and the Scotia
Overcome
did not catalambano it. Take it down is what that really means. And so it's take it down like this, right? Or take it down like that. I think it's take it down like that, because that's how it's used in 12. So if you know a genita here, what is this a genita here? And without him, there came about not even one thing. There came about,
A man sent.
oh, got the perfect passive.
How'd you know it was having been sent?
That's in the footnotes.
Paratheu. What is para?
From God.
From the side of, like a paralegal is someone who stands beside a lawyer, right? Paratheu. Anima, oh, and Chase, you're going to get this one. You already got it, actually. Name to him, Ioannes, the graciousness of Yahweh, I think is what that means. Hutos. Is it that man? This man came. Eis martyrion. Do you know where we get the word martyr from?
This one? This word?
It's when you say, I am Jesus' servant, you testify, and then they kill you. Okay, that's where we get the word martyr. It's from this word. This one came for
Came as a witness in order to testify concerning the light,
Perry.
in order that all might believe through him. He was not the light.
Oh, though, it's not he, though.
Oh, this man was not the light.
It's not this man.
That man.
The light, bro.
That man was not the light,
That man was not the light.
but
in order that he may testify concerning the light.
that's it. We could do this, can't we? So that's the quiz for access to the quiz is here. So I'll see you on Wednesday.